sit somewhere
Call
else.
the meeting to order.
Watch your step.
Welcome to tonight's meeting of the
camera
Armada Village Council.
This is recorded.
Would you please rise
Is that
for
what I'm supposed to
the
say?
pledge allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance
to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It does say record, right?
They're supposed to be
I'm not sure. She just told me to hit the red button. I'm not part of the council, so I don't know.
Okay. We'll find out real quick, like at the end of the meeting.
Well,
Barzik?
I want to make sure if it says record.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this equipment, so.
Okay. You have the agenda before you. Could I have a motion on it?
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Support.
Clark and Shaw. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Say aye. Motion's approved.
I'm sorry, can we get more copies of the agenda? Please?
You have to leave the room to do that.
Michelle, I can make some more copies.
Okay, thank you.
Inconvenience.
Okay,
Shit, people.
just a couple things. I think some of you may be here about the Fritz subdivision. Just so you know, that proposal and Fritz's proposals are with the Planning Commission and the planner. There is a public hearing on 9/15. Now, I'm sure a lot of you would like to speak, and you all can, but our protocol is that you get 3 minutes, and we don't have a debate. This is just your time to tell the council how you feel on certain subjects. So you're all welcome.
State name.
If you would please stand up and state your name, and go right ahead, ma'am.
My name is Heather Lido. I live on 23604 Colonial Road. I first want to start off by saying thank you to this council for all that you do on behalf of the citizens of the village. We are all appreciative of your efforts, and we respect your time, and we respect your positions. So hopefully you can respect our thoughts and our views that may differ from what yours are. So within our current master plan, it states within the introduction section under number 1, asserting council's right to have the final approval authority over the village master plan. This is why we are here tonight. Under number 4, to have input from the public. This is why we are here tonight. Within our current master plan, it states under the planning and growth management section, to guide and accommodate future growth and development in a manner that respects the village's traditional and compact character and minimize the potential adverse impact of new development by maintaining an appropriate scale and density or intensity of additional growth within and adjacent of the village. This is why we are here tonight. I could go on. Do what you were elected by us to do, to uphold the criteria within our current master plan, and do not approve any changes to it that would allow Mr. Fritz the necessary zoning changes to move forward with this proposed 48 townhouses with no garage project to be completed on his property within our subdivision. We will be at every council meeting and building planning meeting until this plan has been rejected and the master plan revisions, if any, are voted on and completed. This property since the 80s has been zoned for 16 single-family homes that would be conducive to our subdivision size. Current homes in similarity, easy to accommodate in scope, and could potentially enhance our property values. A 48 townhome park with no garages or driveways, street-side parking, and dumpsters for garbage would do none of those things for us. This proposed project has no business even being considered within our subdivision. I am certain there is a more appropriate site within our village to accommodate this project. It was stated at the June 23rd council meeting by President Conan that the planning chair has been talking with the planner and agrees this project should happen. Who are they or anyone else to speak on our behalf as to what should be built within our own subdivision? Mr. Fritz doesn't even live in Armada. He profits off of Armada and then goes to his home. Let him build this there if it's that important. We do not want it in ours. 48 townhomes, 3 times in density than what it's currently zoned for, according to McKenna. 3 times more traffic, 3 times more congestion, 3 times, I'm sorry, Mike. Here, can you pick that up? I got to drink my water. Right there. It's very warm in here.
Yes, it is.
Okay, excuse me. You want to identify yourself, sir? You're on your 3 minutes.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Brian Jerks, I live at 23604 Colonial Road. Okay, again, 48 homes, that's 3 times more than currently zoned for, according to McKenna. 3 times more traffic will be coming down a one-way entrance, or single entrance way and exit way. 3 more, it's gonna be 3 times more congestion, just of people and cars. 3 times more sewage usage, 3 times more for the fire department to serve, 3 times more for the police department to protect, and for what? Do any of you want 3 times of anything next to you? We don't. In closing, Mr. Fritz is an opportunist. He has known since the 80s this property was zoned for. He never built those 16-family homes, and now, as you are having the master plan revisited, he's trying to slide in, banking on changes to the current zoning required by increasing density. Do not let these changes take place and do not allow the project to be approved. Mr. Fritz has even suggested that building and planning meeting in August to approve it under contract zoning, pre-approved, before the final master plan is even approved. Do your jobs, don't let this happen, and leave our current master plan alone. Thank you, and we'll see you at the next meeting and one after that. And one other thing, I am a retired 36-year firefighter for the city of Detroit. And one entranceway for 48 structures is not good.
It's gotta be rebuilt.
One more thing, homes have to have 2 exits. 48 house structures, only 1 exit, not good. Thank you.
Who else would like to go next? Go ahead.
Roseanne D. from Zeppelin, and I live at 74965 Fulton, but this is gonna be concerning my cousin June Pratt, who's 91. And she was concerned about the road. She says you can't put that many more homes in and you have no way in and no way out. And then the next thing she said is, where is the plan for a disaster? We've had the tornado come through, and if it had moved 1 block over, everybody would have been captured because there's not enough entrances in and out of that area. So that was her big concern, and the other one was if you allow him to do anything, who's gonna fix the roads? He needs to be watched, and the roads need to be done properly. So, thank you.
They're not maintained now.
I think you all know that this plan is not approved at all.
But
Okay.
this is just getting our ball rolling.
Who else would like to speak?
We don't want it.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Oh, Diana Thompson, and I'm just concerned if he hooks up to the water and sewage, how much would he have to pay for that to happen? And would we have to pick up the cost for that?
There are charges for.
There are tap-in fees for water
There
and
are
sewer.
tap-in fees.
And that
We
would be
can't
on
get into a
them.
big discussion, but there are tap-in fees.
Well, I understand that. If I owned a empty lot and I wanted to build a home, how much would it cost me to tap into sewer and water?
I would just say water would be about $2,000.
Okay, because
Tap into the water.
I had looked previously and it was at least 10,000 the last time.
It's online. If you go onto the villageofarmada.org, go to water sewer, and then there's water sewer
Right, and
resolutions, that has those in it.
will he get a deal to do that? Well, you say no, but do you know for sure?
I don't know where it is in planning. Planning has not come back
But
to the
again,
council in general.
This is a time for everybody to speak. We can't,
I mean,
have a debate on it.
we've already had an increase because they had to rebuild the sewer. Okay, to accommodate that much more, they will have to update it, and again, that cost is gonna fall on us.
Thank you. Somebody else like to speak? Go ahead.
Hi, Ronald Patero, 73722 Franklin. My main concern about this new project is number one, the cost. It's gonna, how it's gonna affect the sewer and the water system for us. Also, when they say there's only be like 3 times the amount of traffic, when I heard on the meeting a couple weeks ago, they were saying that there'd be like 400 to 800 more vehicles driving through Franklin where we live. And that's, right now, it's the only entrance and exit that they have planned. They said there was going to be an emergency exit off a depot somewhere. I don't understand any of that they can make an emergency exit there, why can't they make it a road? They can go back here for another entrance and exit for that. That's my main concern. I mean, we have issues with people, even though our street is only 8 houses long, we have people that live in the sub, and some that don't, that fly up and down our street like it's crazy. And it's just like we sit out there, and I have all my neighbors. They can attest to, yeah, these people are flying through the street. It's only 8 houses long within that section of Franklin. And there's a lot more kids on that street now. There's 4 or 8, probably another 10 or 12 new kids that live in that, right in that area, just in that one block. So that was my concern too. Thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else think? Go ahead, sir.
Mike Sauer, 73511 Washington Drive. My property line's right along where you're proposing to put a road.
Yes, sir.
Why would you put a road through a wetland? That makes no sense whatsoever. We can't even get our roads fixed.
Right.
Our roads are all hell, and half of the roads in this city, and what? Now they're gonna build a whole new road? That's asinine. I mean, fix what you got first.
Exactly.
All the riffraff kids out there. Water system can't support it, your sewer system can't support it, your drainage system can't support it. You've got nothing that can support what is being proposed. At minimum, you ought to at least go back to the 14 houses he was going to build to begin with. Yeah, we just can't understand how come we can start all of this junk and we can't even get what we got fixed.
Right.
That's the biggest deal, and you keep chunking money it up. You gotta keep paying more and more money for water and everything to rebuild the system because the system's dilapidated. And like she said, you know, lots of costs gotta come back on us all the time. It's always us. You know, we're the village of Shore, but we're also the people that's gonna stand up and have to take the brunt of whatever this happens. And that's not right either. And I don't think that's fair for all of us in this room, or this whole village, as a matter of fact, because everybody will be charged for it. So
Thank you. Back there, yes?
Cindy Bradford, 23603 Colonial. I have a concern with regard to the amount of traffic and also bouncing off Brian's issue with whether or not the fire trucks can get down. I can tell you right now, I had trouble getting down Franklin to get to my street, Colonial, because people were parked on both sides of the street.
Yep.
Any kind of plan, and again, this plan is not approved at all, not for anything. But any plan that any plan that gets approved or whatever will also have input from the fire department. They will be part of that. But
I had an SUV. I couldn't get it between the two cars. I don't think a fire truck or an EMS truck could have got down at all, and then whoever was at the other end of that, maybe did. So that's a
Good point.
concern that I have.
is there somebody else that would like to speak?
Yeah,
I'm Paula Patero, 73722 Franklin. When I was listening to the last planning board meeting, it really took me for a loop when Fritz says, you know, just let's just have a zoning contract between you and me. If anything gets planned and it doesn't go my way, I have a contract signed with you, so, oh well, I'm gonna do what I want anyway. I did not like that attitude. This guy sucks. Excuse my French.
Thank you for your input.
one more,
Is there
right here.
anybody else that would, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Doug Bailey, 73701 Morrison Drive. How is this going to really benefit us, with taxes, water, and everything? Overall picture, the plus and minus of it?
What was that now?
How is this going to benefit us with the plus and minus?
Taxes, pluses or minuses.
Well, again, we can't get into that right now, but it will be going to the planning commission. There'll be a public hearing on it the 15th. But again,
There's not a public hearing.
Oh.
That's a different one. This is just, it's just a planning meeting.
I don't even know.
Absolutely attend, but it's.
So you might want to get a bigger room now.
I don't think anybody wants to pay for a new hall, but
We pay for it every day. That's taxes.
Yeah, I'd rather pay for a new hall than have more houses or townhouses.
Mr. Conan, could you continue your sentence with me, please?
I can't hear this gentleman.
Mr. Conan, could you continue what you started saying? And then
You gotta speak louder, please.
I said, could you continue to say what you was going to say? You were on a speech and you got cut off. So continue on.
Well, you know, when we have a development in the community, and I'm not talking about Fritz, but if we have one, you know, a lot of times there are some good things for the village that come across. When they put in the 92 units over there, we didn't hire any new DPW or any new officers, but we were able to pay most of our water tower with those tap-in fees. So sometimes it can be a benefit. I'm not saying this is a benefit. It's gotta go through the planning commission. They will be looking at the roads. I think that number probably will be changed drastically, but I don't know that for sure. But, you know, all your points are very good. Usually, unless it's just too large of a number, some additional can help, you know, spread a little bit of cost over. But, you know, some people have expressed for years here that we have a lack of homes for senior citizens. And I'm just saying, but anyhow, this is your time, not mine. Who else would like
So
to
how much
speak?
tax revenue will we receive from this?
What was that?
Tax revenue you receive.
Well, we don't know that. First of all, we don't assess the homes. That's done through the township. So I can't say.
And your taxes.
And they don't even have a
He's talking,
number
I'm not
yet.
talking.
There's no number. But you're saying 915 is not a public hearing for the?
No, not for Fritz.
Mike?
No.
Not for Fritz, so.
No, it's just a plan resolution.
Okay, that just, now, would anybody else like to speak? Tony, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Tony Burdich. I live at 22640 West Main, so I'm on the other side of town. And we have a different concern. I have a couple of questions. Has there been a proposal for a school, church, and cemetery on West Main where that property is for sale?
A church, I guess, is in negotiations to buy it. They haven't made a formal presentation to the planning commission, have they, Mike?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
So, I think it's, church, school, and, pretty hard to say no to churches.
Right.
Okay, well, my other question is why we haven't heard anything about that. The first we heard about that was my wife saw it on I Love Armada, and we never got any kind of notice in the mail about
Didn't
the
they get a
meeting
letter?
or anything.
Oh, I just got one on the phone.
Get the purchase agreements.
There's no purchase.
So interesting. So the process, again, they are only at the concept plan, they have not formally applied for approvals. They just came into the first meeting, it's just to present the plan commission.
Where do they go really
This
generate
is what we're thinking. Planner has recommended, they go through a process, which means there will be two public hearings from the planning commission. There'll be two council actions, first on the concept and then when they finalize their planning programs of it. So you will get, if you live within 300 feet of the boundaries of the property, you will get written notice. I don't know if you do, I don't know where you live, but
Right there.
if you do.
Right
He should be, I would think he would get a letter.
Yeah, so that's the reason. It's not because anybody was hiding anything, it's just that they have.
No, I'm not
No, I know, I'm
intimidated.
just for the sake of everything. It hasn't got to the point where they wanted to proceed. Once they do, again, there'll be two public hearings, two council actions. That's assuming it gets through the concept.
And it will only be, the only people that will be notified would be people that live within 300 feet of
They
them?
will get written notice of a public hearing.
So that's us and the mayor.
Everybody gets, all of our agendas are on, Michelle, help me, on the website, they're
Yeah.
posted.
Yeah,
So
posted.
it's not like any other residence that are gonna be hidden. It's just by law, we have to give everybody within 300 feet.
Okay. Within 300 feet of that whole
The whole
property?
site, yep.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Just what you're saying there, I went to the website tonight to try to find the agenda for this meeting. And maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. The last agenda I saw was August 18th. So how does a person find out the agenda for village council, planning commission, and all those things?
Is it,
I went to the village, I looked under council, I looked under agendas.
Did you
I
look
was
under
given time for Dave, yeah.
The top one,
Okay.
I looked under
I will
village
check
council
that.
and agendas.
If it's not up, that is me. That's
Okay,
totally my
but
fault.
normally that would be place and planning commission also? Is
Planning
there,
commission is also posted, but they go up, for me, they go up on Mondays, or I'm sorry, on
I
Fridays.
thought they wouldn't be up
before the
because
meeting,
theirs is
And they're
just-
always in the window, here too.
Yeah, Ken, it used to be that a person could request a subscription to agendas.
That's still.
And
You can
these would
still
be,
do that.
so any village resident could give you their email address and you would email us an
You
agenda?
have to file
A FOIA.
FOIA,
A FOIA.
and it's
So-
a continuing FOIA. They don't have to file it every
Yes.
But
time.
we could do that
Yes.
through the clerk, file a FOIA
Yep.
and be on a list where you would
Yep.
email us those agendas.
Yep.
That would be perfect, thank you. And would that include public hearings too, then?
It would include the agenda statement, which has the public
The
hearing.
public hearing, so then anybody here could do that.
Otherwise,
You
I
would be
don't know.
notified personally if something like that's coming up, whether or not you live within 300 feet.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, we're kinda getting off,
No, that's what, I'm sorry, what is your name?
Donna Reamer, I'm sorry,
Okay,
I live
that's
on
okay.
Franklin Street.
All right.
would anybody else like to speak?
Oh, yeah, I would. Yeah, and do I have to stand? I'm so tall and I
Oh.
feel like I'm already on display right in the middle. But
I'll wave it. But you still gotta identify yourself.
I'll speak loud. My name is Angela Humby, 23743 Colonial Road. And I know it keeps getting said that this is going to the planning commission, but isn't it this board that gives the final approval for this plan? So I think that's why we're all here, because this is the board that we need to speak to because you give the final approval.
Well,
That's not all.
this is why it's under citizen comment.
Right.
If this were to come forward, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know exactly, I don't go to every planning commission meeting, but any approval, let's say it has to come to this body, you would have the opportunity to speak on that item, as we always do. Every item we give opportunity to speak, so everybody in this room would have the opportunity to speak to that item.
But who gives the final approval?
If it's a rezoning, I'm assuming that you're accurate, then that would come to the council.
Okay,
Yes.
so I think that's probably why we're all here. But I want to speak to the quality of life for all of us here. It's the like everything that was stated. It's the noise, it's dumpsters out there that attracts rats. It just doesn't seem like the quality of life that we in Armada came to this community for. And when you're talking about affordable housing, are we talking low-income housing? Because I don't believe affordable housing is defined. And so I think we need to be very careful what affordable housing actually means.
I don't know of any housing that's affordable anymore, but.
His proposal is about between 250 and 325 for those units. For the units that he's talking
For
about.
a unit with no garage and parking
Yes,
on the
ma'am.
street?
For units.
And connections.
What a deal.
250 and 325. That's what
Again,
the
this
council
is just his concept, his proposal. But again, somebody else like to speak?
Hi.
Yes.
Hi. My name's Lori Panzik. I live at 73561 Morrison Drive. And I'm here because I'm seeing the citizens of the village really have a voice in this matter. And what I think needs to be conveyed is that the expectations of the citizens are that the village council, the planning commission are listening, and that you're acting and you're getting the information that's needed to make informed decisions on behalf of the citizens that live here. Not because someone brings forward a plan that you think is going to bring more tax dollars or is going to be a better add to the water system, which that could be a whole meeting in itself. We don't ask a lot of questions about it because there's no point, right? There becomes a time where you just feel so shut down by it that you think you love your community, you love your neighbors, you love being here. I would be considered what we would call a cityite. I haven't lived here my whole life. I moved here because my husband worked for Armada Fire Department. He doesn't work there anymore, but we still love where we live. We love our neighbors. And we're here because of that small town feel. We're here because this is a village. We're not Royal Oak, we're not Romeo, we're not Birmingham. We're not here because we have condos next door to us. The thought of there being condos along the Macomb Orchard Trail in our community makes no sense. But in addition to that, there are so many questions we still have unanswered that we keep asking. And I don't think it takes the citizens coming forward and asking the questions over and over again to get an answer acceptable. What's acceptable is you come forward and you give us the answers. You've heard all of these things, it's all being recorded. You can go back through it and watch it again, and when we come back to the meeting, the next meeting, we will expect answers, because that's what we elected you to do.
Right.
So, that being said, I hope to come back to the next meeting. I hope to hear answers to all of the questions that we've asked, because they should become agenda items. It's very simple, you just put it on there. And then secondly, I think that there's a realization that when we purchased our homes, we purchased them in the community that we did. I live on Morrison, we're on a dead-end street. The thought of there being a road at the end of my street that says dead end, that's been dead end for a very long time, is very challenging to me. And I think it's very unfair to think that I'm just supposed to sit back and take that I'm supposed to sit back because somebody wants to make a buck. And I don't appreciate the thought that there's this inkling that this is going to add tax dollars, that it's going to improve the money that we're already spending on the water bills. If you come forward and tell me my water bill is going to be reduced by $200, let's hear it. If you think my taxes are going to go down by $200-300, let's hear it. Because those are not solutions. Solutions are thinking outside of the box, looking at things we could do differently. Thank you for your time.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Actually, I've already spoken once. Off of the Fritz thing, the streets. What's going to be done with our streets at this point?
They're still gonna be tarred over again.
tar it over.
Yeah, there were a few issues that the contractor has to
Yeah.
fix, and they're coming back on September 19th and 20th. And then the next week is when the final coat's supposed to go down.
Okay, so explain to me what this, I mean, tar over,
Well,
We can't,
Oh, wow.
you're gonna be going through this are you going through this today, at,
no, I'm just updating everybody on when the final coats are gonna be done, or everything's gonna be done.
What about all the other roads in the village? We only did a couple.
we're not all taking shots here,
I wish I could know what's wrong with it. Morrison Street got ripped up too, it's not on your all's list, but it got ripped up too, and the contractors told me that the first contractor come through and tore it up, screwed it all up, and then they're supposed to come back and fix it all, and we haven't seen nobody yet come back to fix anything, and you're telling me you're gonna put tar over what you've done, and that's bull. That's just a bunch of junk.
Thank you for your input. Did somebody else want to speak, ma'am?
I just asked, what about the other roads?
We gotta see how this works out.
It's like gravel, you're just gonna tar over gravel?
Well, we tried to do something so we could do a lot of the streets. It's gonna cost about 400 grand, which is, you couldn't even do one street for that. So this is, we were told this would be a good process for us. We wanna see. You know, we took a little bit of a chance. And, we'll just have to see how this goes. But, it may be a while before we do more, because again, we're using a lot of money on this.
Our house,
But,
3,000.
now, we don't get to go 2 or 3 times. You got your 3 minutes, but go
I
ahead,
got a
ma'am.
minute and a half.
Yeah,
but-
go ahead.
Okay.
You got
I
it
forgot to say
coming.
where I live. I live at 73544 Floral Street. So I'm just one lot away from the road. Is he the one that built the apple orchard townhomes in Romeo? Because
That I don't know. He built a lot of the homes in the subdivision here
I
in
heard that
town.
was pretty shoddy work, but that's beside the point.
We can't be making statements like that.
Yeah, you
Well,
can.
it's my
It's a
personal.
freedom of speech.
But the apple orchard, I want to know what that crime, if crime has increased. My mom lived there for a couple years, and it was not safe for her. And it's like, it might be good for 2 years maybe, but you're gonna start drawing all sorts of people in.
You could talk to our police chief or something, you could come in and they can tell you about crime in Armada.
No,
We
but-
can't speak for Romeo or
But
another
it's
community.
similar situations. You're bringing people, affordable, whatever that means, into the village, and you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, if they build the 16 homes, it's fine, you know, they have garages, but when she lived there, it was not safe.
Yeah.
And
We can't.
you're
speak to
opening
that
up.
Because we have no data, no.
Right, but that's something that should be looked into.
Okay, are there any other citizens that would like to speak?
I do. Hi, my name is Melissa. I live at 73737 Morrison Drive.
Melissa, what's your last name?
Houle, Houle.
Thank you.
A couple things, I guess. So she had spoke about what are we gonna do when the builder starts bringing in these trucks? Your big gravel haulers, your cement trucks, your building material trucks. I mean, you're talking heavy duty trucks on some chip seal. That's a little concerning. I mean, if the roads were gonna hang out in a Malibu or maybe an F-150, might work, but I mean, some of those trucks are what, 5 ton? I mean, that's one thing. Is it gonna be repaired, right, after these builders come through? Or it's not just gonna be, because you're gonna have tire marks. Then my other, I guess, question is because I kept hearing like townhouse, I heard condo, I know they say it's zoned for housing, which I think is awesome. I'm not against housing. I'm not against, but a townhouse and a condo are completely different, so that's, I guess, that you said keeps going between the planning. So is there gonna be an association? Are these people gonna be able to paint one house lime green and one house like, fancy pink? Are, the townhouses, how is it regulated, if that's how it is? Like, I believe condos are an association, you own the inside, not the outside, right? They take care of the maintenance, making sure the grass is cut, making sure it looks nice. Townhouses are like, kind of like, well, you got your own little chunk, and I hope to take care of it. And it might look like, just saying, I mean, it could look shoddy. I mean, you can get that with a house as well, but usually somebody who has a house, they make a home. Townhouses, I'm not trying to whatever single out people, but it's a little more compact. It's a little more, I don't care, I'm just here to sleep, I'm just here to live. And if you're packing them in, I don't know. But then I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you go ahead, you finish.
That's why I just said, it's not really questions, I guess, other than the condo townhouse, but you said it's going through planning. So if planning, and that means that they get to like put together scenarios of different things, is that how that works?
Well, he proposes his proposal of what he wants to build, and then we look at it on planning. I'm on the planning.
Okay, so, and then.
And we look at it and we decide by our plan, and we take to him and say, look, is this feasible for our community? And then they tell us, McKenna tells us. His original proposal was for like 32 homes, and then we said it's too big. Too many homes.
Yeah, that'd be like Hamtramck.
This has been going on for 5 years.
It'd be like Hamtramck on top of each other.
This has been going on for 5 years.
And now it's 48.
I guess before my 3 minutes is that my other question is too, I keep hearing like one entrance, one exit, one entrance, one exit. So from what I was always, I guess told, but you know how grapevine goes in small towns. You hear one story, you're at the salon, here's another story. I was always told Franklin is the only point of access. Now, somebody else keeps saying like it's gonna come through at the end, maybe at Depot, or I heard Lathrop, it's gonna go all the way through with the easement. I'm just curious if this is even happening. Is it just Franklin that you guys are thinking? Or like that's, I guess, my big concern.
There's nothing, we can't answer that right now. There's nothing approved, there's nothing, you see what the planner and the planning commission say, but I do know these are things they're considering.
Okay, and,
all of the things you brought up, which are all really great ideas, they are, I think, all under consideration with the planning commission. They're citizens from our community, just like you guys.
Right.
And they want the same things you want, But does that cover you now, ma'am?
I mean, I guess, but I guess if you can't tell me, then it doesn't really answer it, because it's, you know what I mean? But I just want to know.
Speak.
I mean, personally, I'm just saying, like, honestly, if you're gonna take Lathrop all the way through and an easement against the woods, that would be, to me, I don't know, I guess it's your land. I know that the city owns that land at the end of my street. But it just seems, I don't know, like someone said, like this is a dead end street. It's always been a dead end street. I just, points of interest that would bring in a lot of traffic flow to our very quiet dead end street. And I know that, you know what I mean, I'm not like superior because I think I live on a dead end street and I shouldn't be touched. I mean, I believe there should be more than one, but I mean, you guys got the whole city building and your, area off of Depot there. I'm not gonna say that, you shouldn't do whatever, but if you put a road along there and go straight through your building area, that would seem more feasible for the village people, because it would be a quiet where literally we won't have that. Your streets zigzag a lot. They go through, they stop, you gotta go this way, you gotta go this way. There's no really straight flows. It's not like city of Detroit's streets are like straight. You know what I mean? They're like a basically easy to go. Ours are zigzag. So if you had a street that was straight flow right off of Depot, or that comes in from North Ave at the south end of the village, us villagers really wouldn't be so much right by the flow of it. Is all I guess I'm trying to say, and that's I just came tonight because that's my biggest concern is how, and of course, yes, I want safety for the people that live there. And all around that area, if, with Franklin, if that isn't an open spot. But I don't know. I thought, maybe if it goes through the planning, then will we get another chance to hear that final, before you approve it? Do we get that other second?
There'll be public hearings then.
Yeah, public hearings.
Again, thank you for your input.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Anybody else like to speak?
Different
You
item.
don't get to keep jumping up, Rose.
Hey, I was talking for a 91-year-old lady who said to come up here and kick your butt.
She's been a friend.
I don't remember who I got the letter from, but I live at 74965 Fulton Street. I'm at the end of town, the north end of town. And I got a letter saying that I had to remove some shrubbery. It's been done. Has anybody looked and even noticed it's down?
That's done.
But it is, I'm still in the village, and that was part of the village thing.
You're
so-
tied in with the township too, though, aren't you?
Oh, God, I never did that.
Yeah. Your property?
Yeah, I remember the
Yeah.
flooding of the
I don't
back of
know
my
that we
property.
sent that.
I don't think we sent it.
Okay, I haven't looked, I've been pretty darn busy.
Township.
Township, okay, it's done, so you guys know. And I wanna thank you guys, the police. My end of town with all these loud mufflers
Oh,
and
yeah.
everybody leaving, thank you, because now I can turn the TV down to 17 instead of up at 43, so I'm here in my house. So it's another traffic issue, and these guys have been dealing with it greatly. So the next thing you wanna do is you wanna nicely ask them about that stuff, because they do a great job once they understand there is an issue. And, so thank you.
One more question regarding the roads again. What about all the bird baths and everything on the roads? Are they taking care of them? What's the plan for leveling off the roads to make them suitable?
You know, we're not going,
How long are they supposed to last?
What are they?
What's that? No, bird baths. Bird baths, yeah. They're not potholes, they're not holes yet.
the plan is to smooth it out. I don't know how much time. Again, we're trying something a little bit different to try to get the roads done here. We gotta see. That's why we're a little hesitant to do something next year till we see how this holds up.
So what kind of research have you done on the roads?
Again, this is just meant for the citizens to speak, not for
I'm not asking for a debate.
or question and answer.
So,
And again, each person gets 3 minutes.
Maybe wasn't it
Which
10
of
years?
course we have to follow that.
It's about 10 years.
Yeah, they thought
10
they
years
were
is
about
what,
10 years.
10 years is what they're telling
the
us.
projection time on 10 years on a chip
If it's
zone?
done right.
That's right, but that's not what he told
That's not
us.
what the installation guys
They
said.
told us
Right.
2 years top.
That's not what they said.
That's what
That's
they.
the guy on the road installing, did not say.
Let's get back under control, please.
That is under control.
That's not what we heard from.
The DPW can't even grade our road now.
From our engineer, we're talking. That's what our engineer tells us. We have to understand how expensive it is to do a road. When we did Lathrop, I think that was $275,000 for 2 blocks. So if you want the roads fixed, how are you gonna fix the roads? At those costs. We don't have the money, guys.
Money doesn't get a water bill.
Village doesn't get that kind of money.
Roads that haven't been
Excuse me.
fixed for 20 years.
Yes.
Excuse
20
me.
years.
Yes.
Because
I know, especially for the people from the
the township
Fritz
pays for it, and
subdivision,
also the county
questions.
pays for it too. So.
George just telling me that they will supply a tape to the chair of the planning commission, so they will be able to see all of your concerns.
Before the next
Good.
meeting.
There
anyway.
Yeah,
but thank you.
So,
Yeah, that's what I was.
Maybe they'll be
So-
prepared before Monday.
Directly what you asked, and it's not what we're saying you came and said, so.
so
I encourage you
again,
to go to the planning commission.
Yes,
That's
come to the
your,
planning
that's
commission.
your direction now.
We'll be there.
What's that?
We'll be there.
I thought they said it wasn't good. We couldn't go.
Oh, you can come to any meeting. Any meeting that we have is public. Yeah, planning is public, this is public, any meeting you want, and if you want to get on board, please do.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody back here has wants to make a statement.
Kathy Stewart, 73801 Fulton. I just want to speak to your questions about the roads. The roads are really, really expensive. I was road commissioner, Steve was road commissioner. We were here when the Fulton project was done. There is no money for roads. There really is not a lot of money for roads. I thought this was a really good idea. In fact, they're doing the same thing in Birmingham. The road that my client works on, the exact same process, and they're doing the same thing. They're trying it, waiting and see how it works so that they can do the other roads. This would not have been able to afford to do those roads 100% over. The village does not have that money. It's just not there. And the only way they're gonna have the money to fix all of your roads the way that you want is to raise your taxes. It's just not there. It's just not there. So they've been doing it. This was a good solution.
It's very warm in here.
Watch.
Are there any, go ahead, Kathy.
I'm Kathy Markle, 23552 Torrey Street. I came for two things. One, even though the roads are not perfect, they are 900,000% better than they were. You can walk, you can drive down Torrey Street without having anything spill in your car. Or if you've had surgery, as I mentioned before, very painful to drive down that road post-surgery. It's much better now, so even though we don't know how they're gonna last, they're better than they were. So I'm happy about that. And I'll also say, because I live on the corner of Torrey and Franklin, I have specific concerns about the traffic pattern to go down Franklin. And I'd like that addressed by the Planning Commission.
Thank you.
One more thing.
You only get 3 minutes.
Well, it's less than 3 minutes. I'm helping you here. I want to thank the police department because, like you said, when you call and you have a problem, they listen. And the speeders down Fulton were ridiculous. And the police department has really stepped up their game when those complaints were made. And our favorite color of lights is the red and blues. And I mean, it's really made a difference. People have slowed down on Fulton Street since that attention has been paid to it. Not that you weren't paying attention before.
Okay, would anybody else like to speak?
If nobody else, I'll speak. Go ahead.
I already did, but I was just gonna ask if I could address one more thing. I'm actually curious if there's any way you guys can get grants or anything from the state. I mean, she wanted to fix the dam. I'm just throwing that out there, but, you know, the school does different things for grants. Does the state do that for anything with the water? Or fixing the lead, like they did in Flint?
We're always trying to get grants.
Door down there, kind of cool.
We paid for, you know, we got grants for Fulton Street, for Main Street, for First Street.
Can I open that door?
For Simon Street. We're always trying to get money, but the state sometimes brags about their surplus, but they don't like to give it out. But so, does anybody else like to speak? Kevin, did you want to say something?
Yeah. Sneak around here real quick. Kevin Grand, Armada resident. This is on a different topic. This is on something that I had brought up back in March regarding the snow removal ordinance. I was wondering what the status of that was. Mr. Boborski is here. Hopefully he can fill in some gaps. If that can be done this evening, that would be appreciated.
You went through it before. You answered him.
They were asking you to open the door to let fresh air in.
Can we probably open that door?
Council has directed that in November, a letter will be sent out with the water.
Yeah.
Just advising that the village is going to enforce its ordinance. Notice given if you haven't cleared your snow within the time required by the ordinance, you will receive a ticket. Okay, now the ticket doesn't mean you're automatically, but it's like a warning. You need to remove your snow. I know that's sometimes harsh, but over the years, and I know a lot of you are new faces, I wish you would come more often. It's nice to see people come to these meetings. But the problem is we have a lot of people who enjoy walking, jogging, taking their kids walking to school. At the same time, there's some people who habitually do not remove their snow. And we have been in my judgment, a little bit overly polite with giving 10-day, which turns out to be 20 days. Well, with snow, it's gone. I mean, so that has not, candidly, that has not worked well. So we're not going to do it in a manner of threatening anybody, but we just want to remind, hey, do your senior citizen neighbor, the kid that has to walk to school, people who have physical difficulties, you need to remove your snow. And that's really the intent. So that's going to be rolled out in November. Hopefully, in talking to Becky with the village, we really, after the first notice, it generally gets better. So we're hopeful that by sending this letter out, we'll get people's attention before the snowflakes fall. If not, then again, we'll have to, ticket. There's no other way to do it. It's hard. We don't have a large DPW staff. Their primary focus in those first 24 hours of the snowfall is to get the roads cleared. So we just don't have the bandwidth to meet the needs of the residents to get to work and the school buses. So the clearing of the sidewalks is generally almost an afterthought, but it's really important that we get a greater degree of compliance. So I hope that answers it, Kevin.
Well, actually, I missed part of it. I was the one back and forth with some people. So when I last asked a few weeks ago, that was being discussed. So if I heard you correctly, you said now it's been finalized.
Yeah, there's not going to be any change. We reviewed our ordinances. We're comfortable with the civil infraction methodology. But we're going to take that extra step of notifying residents. Kind of a reminder, this is your obligation when you have to remove the snow. And like I said, I'm not expecting to get 100% compliance. But again, it is an important issue for a lot of village residents. We do have people that come in and are concerned that it seems to be the same houses that never remove the snow, and that's unfortunate. So we will, as Dave said earlier about the roads, we hope that this kind of gentle push will get people to comply. If it doesn't, then we always have the option. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. Okay.
Any other?
Step back over here.
Okay. I guess we'll move on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just if anybody wants to go, let people
Okay.
exit. We won't be able to hear what we're doing.
Certainly everybody's welcome to stay, but I think some people want to leave. We're gonna have like a 2-minute recess.
You had to ask about.
Nobody has to leave, you can sit. Feel welcome. But we're gonna just take a couple minutes and then move into administrative.
Are you filming us leaving?
That's Channel 6.
I know, I said, are you filming us as we leave?
Oh.
Trip on our forward here.
Yes, this is going straight to the NSA.
I gotta go put chickens away. What is good seeing you?
Miss Campbell. There was something very surprising.
It's gonna get better. There's more to this. My son-in-law, my grandson, he just and they say that this I think I need to get trying to
Here's the second
You think the letter will help? Tell the residents what their taxes about the snow.
Okay, we're gonna get started.
Okay, you too, Bill.
I'm sorry, but we gotta go on with the meeting, folks.
Trying to get you next, very well.
I don't care, whatever.
No, you can go first, Catherine.
Okay. Okay, now it sounds like we're ready.
Catherine, do have to be first.
Wait, we're in administrative reports. And, Mike, you're gonna do F&B?
No, Catherine.
Cat's here today.
I picked the best meeting to come to today.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That's
did.
okay. That way I get to talk to a lot of people at once. This is wonderful.
Just what you wanted to do.
So for those of you who haven't met me before, my name is Catherine Wynn. I work for F&B Operations. We are your contract operators for your water and sewer departments. We also coordinate with the Department of Public Works on the water distribution system and on the sewer collection system. So I work directly with Mr. Starrett and Mr. Belke in regard to those two ends of the system. And so you have in front of us our July, I'm sorry we're a little behind because of the holiday, operating report, and the August one will be coming out soon. Did anybody have any questions? I know you haven't really had a chance to review it or anything specific that you wanted to ask me about. Okay. So one of the reasons I'm here today is I've talked to both Mr. Starrett and Mr. Belke about a contract extension. So our contract with the village expires at the end of March in 2026. The village has discussed having that contract extended for a one-year period because they are looking at different options for potential changes in the scope of the contract based on possible changes that could be happening with your Department of Public Works. I've talked about that with both of these gentlemen, and there are pros and cons to that approach. Putting in a one-year extension on the contract does buy some time for the village to kind of assess what's going on, maybe make some changes, but I don't know that that's sufficient time. My understanding of the window is that those changes could be happening as late as June of next year, or even beyond that. And so that if you were to do a one-year extension to, say, March of 2027, does that give the village adequate time to go through their assessment process, and also knowing the current employment climate that I'm struggling with myself, does that give you adequate time for personnel search to determine what direction you want to take? I mean, you could potentially determine that you want to continue to self-perform certain functions and try to post a position for the Department of Public Works, and you may find out that you're highly successful and you find a really qualified individual, and maybe you want to change our scope of services downward because of that. Maybe you find someone who's got water certifications or something else that you want to change it that way. Or maybe you have an employment search that is not successful and you find that you're not able to find a caliber of staff member that you would want for that position, and you actually want to expand our scope of services
to assist you more with some of the water and sewer functions. If you were to do a one-year extension and then you were to post that position and have those kind of challenges and you know, right now, trying to create a job description, post a job description, have applicants, have time to interview those applicants, make a decision, you know, and then possibly assess their performance or their capabilities, that really doesn't necessarily give you enough time to do that. That's my personal opinion, and our opinion is that what we would like to propose is that if we were to extend the contract, that we would extend it for a full contract term. A normal term of 3 to 5 years is normally what our contract terms are, with the understanding that at any time that contract can be opened. The scope could be amended either up or down, but that doesn't take us in 1 year increments and then a year from now we're having the same discussion. So that's the kind of, you know, proposal that F&V would like to discuss with you and have you the chance to talk amongst yourselves about.
What I suggest is that you work with Mike and Ross and.
Yep, absolutely.
And then they'll come back to the council with a recommendation.
Yeah, because I mean, we did receive a letter asking for the potential understanding for a 1 year extension, but we just don't know that that's going to be adequate for you guys to be able to have the time to make those decisions and explore those different possibilities. So we'll work with you whichever way you want. But, you know, like I said, that we're not in a time crunch now at that point in time. So we could extend the contract by amendment under the existing terms and conditions and scope and just continue on with that. And then at any time our contract allows you to open it and amend it again. You know, like I said, either change the scope up or down or negotiate what changes you would want at that time and not feel pressed that now we're looking for someone for our Department of Public Works at the same time we're trying to renegotiate with F&V or decide what we're going to do. And like I said, some of that may be dependent on the quality of candidates you're able to attract for that position. So that's our position. Okay.
Do we have any other questions concerning the running of the sewer department or?
No, the only thing I've told Catherine is what that does do if we were to sign a new contract prior to the expiration of the current ongoing contract is it potentially limits our flexibility. If we decide to go in a completely different direction than F&B, now we're connected, although I know there's a severance clause. So that would be the only thing that I would be concerned about. I think the DPW Roles and Responsibilities Committee is working to try to define what we think the DPW should be doing as we transition and superintendent well before the contract would expire. So, but there is a risk that we would go over past the date. Hence, the 1 year would give us continued performance by you guys. It also gives us flexibility.
Again,
so,
we may need to look at the 3 years. As we know, Dave's pretty, you know, one time it's the 26th and it's 27, but anyway, thank you for coming today.
Yeah, no, and I enjoyed it, and I'm glad to see village residents here and, you know, participating in the.
We don't normally get this much participation.
I was looking for a parking spot, and I thought, gosh, there must be something really hot on the agenda. Not knowing anything about this potential development, and so, but that's okay. And I will stay for the meeting in case anybody comes up with any questions, or, Michael, did you have anything? All right, and I'm in, you know, pretty regular communication with these gentlemen, so, but if you ever need me to come back to a meeting for any reason, or whatever, just let me know.
Thank you. Well, thank you. Okay, moving on. That covers the sewer. Do we have it? Ross, you turned in a report?
I did.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe you can
streamline.
Condense some of it, Ross.
All right, so I'm trusting you guys have all read this. We did conduct well and pump efficiency testing of wells 6 and 8 last week. As I advised council, the cost was $1,050 to do that. I think that's a steal. We were not able to do well 7. We're going to do well 7 tomorrow. We've had to buy a $50 meter. We did find issues with well number 6 valving, so I've asked for a cost estimate to get that fixed. We're doing this because Eagle has cited it in the recent water system sanitary survey as a recommended action. It makes intuitive sense to me that you would track performance of the well and pumps that we have to see over time if they're degrading, and that allows us to make logical decisions about pulling and maintaining components of it. Water tower painting and insulation update. The new date for USG, our maintenance contractor, is 22 September. I will be having a meeting with UIS, F&B, and the DPW superintendent next Monday to get details on what that involves. It's potentially a 6-week process to void the tank out, turn the system on so that we're using the pumps at the water tower pressure to feed the system, and I have advised the fire department about it. I do need to go back and talk to those guys, but they're going to need an alternate tower to potentially fill out of in an emergency, because ours will be unavailable. Right now I'm thinking the end of September through the later part of October is when the tower is going to be down. This is about 4 years worth of work to try to assess our lead and galvanized service line requirements. Again, lead service line replacement is a federal and a state mandate, and the mandate is that if we find lead or galvanized pipe in the system up to the meter, not in the house, but up to the meter, that the village will pay for that replacement. It's happening all across the country, so we're not unique on this. We did not have good records on this in the past, and so hence the extensive work to try to determine in 4 different locations of a water line from the water main to the meter what the composition of that line is. My determination at this point is that we have no more than potentially 16 lead connections. In some cases we just don't know, so we're going to have to dig it up and investigate. We've got 48 private lines that have galvanized pipe. So the priority is to get the lead out, no pun intended, and so we're going to be trying to work on that next year. We found that we have 7 lines that, at least at the shut-off valve, we don't quite know what that line is. We failed to identify it as we did our hydrovacing, so I've got to get in there and do that. It's much cheaper than digging the line up, is to do $500 worth of hydrovacing. So we're going to try to do that this year. I'll be meeting with F&B. I'll be meeting with our village engineer, Rowe, tomorrow. We're working on a plan as to how to do this over time so that it doesn't overtax the water department's funds. Water sewer contract and DPW supervisor retirement timeline. I indicated I was going to attach an updated calendar. I just completely lost sight of it, and I didn't. There's really no magic to that. All I was going to do is we're planning for worst case on when the DPW superintendent would retire, which would be, as he indicates, the earliest next June. So we're planning for that. We do have some, our schedule straw man shows additional actions after that, and all I'm going to do on this schedule chart is just to dot the lines, because it depends upon when he decides to go. So there's no real changes there other than that, but I will get that out, and my apologies. Water treatment plant easement, so we have been working to ensure that we have a legitimate easement for the service drive to the wastewater treatment plant, and to regain control over the trail head that exists down there in the trail right of way. I queried Paul Zook, who's our right of way point of contact at the county, and he is, after some number of months, he's advised us to talk to the county commission. Apparently the county commissioners have responsibility over decisions on the trail and the trail right away. So he advised us to talk to Ken Goyke, so I'm gonna talk to Ken Goyke. And all of our paperwork's in. Paul Zook indicated that he's willing to support that. And so we'll talk to Ken, see what else he needs, but otherwise everything is in, and I think it'll be favorably considered. With respect to that, the county Department of Transportation has contacted me recently about a donated public water drinking fountain on the trail vicinity of the Millsap Gardens, and they're asking what it takes to connect that fountain with village water. We've already worked with the Julie Reich at the Millsap Garden, so we've got a plan for that. More to follow. We're still in discussions. The open issues are who pays the water bill, which I assume would be minimum, and winterization costs. Who does the winterization? So that's where that is right now. More to follow. And Catherine's already talked about the F&B contract extension. So I think that's all I have, other than I do want to, it's unfortunate the folks left. We conducted a water reliability study earlier this year. That water reliability study looked at many facets related to village water and what its capability was. We are at 41 to 42% capacity on our water. That means we got 58 to 59% available capacity for our water system for future development. Whether we do that or not is a planning commission and a council decision. It's not a water commissioner decision. It's just my contention that more connections allows me to greater flexibility to not have to raise water rates based upon inflation, because you've got now more people involved in the system, and what's going to be affected is variable cost, not the fixed cost of the system. So that's all I'm going to say about that, but I see a lot of this stuff on Facebook, and I really got to restrain myself because there's a lot of bad information out there on Facebook. I have told a number of people, if you want to talk about water, I'm always available. Come in and talk to me, but I'm not going to debate policy on Facebook. All I'm going to do is tell you this is how it works, whether you want to believe it or not. So again, I make that offer. I'm available. Come and talk to me about your water concerns. We've got great water. The rates are high. I agree. The rates are high because it's a small number of people paying into the system. It's as simple as that. There's no magic to it other than that. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you, Ross, for the condensed version.
Come and talk to me afterwards. That was a condensed version.
I want to make it clear of something that you said. I don't know if I understood it correctly. Did you say that if lead piping has to be replaced from the meter to the street, the village pays for it?
We're finding, yes, the federal government and the state government, and they're doing it across the country, have mandated that if you have lead in your connection from the water main in the street to your meter, wherever the meter is, and in some cases you've got meters in the house, in other cases there's meters in a meter pit in the middle of your front yard, that the municipality is responsible to pay for the removal of that.
When did that start?
After Flint.
When?
After Flint.
Which was when?
I think it's the desire to replace lead and galvanized lines, and replace galvanized lines because if galvanized has ever been connected to lead, it collects lead particles and it corrodes on the inside of the pipe and it tends to hang on to it.
I'm just asking about the pavement. That it's the village pays for it, the excavating and everything?
The village, it's the village's responsibility to do it.
Because I just had that done within the last few years and I had to pay everything.
Yeah, I did too. And I did too.
I did too.
So that's my question. Why was that?
The mandate came out in about 2001, 2002, and we got 20 years to do it. And now it's, recently they've reduced that to 10 years because they recognize lead in the system is a significant health hazard.
Not 2001.
2021.
That's why I'm confused.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's been a long time.
But we need to move on now.
Yep. See me after, please.
Okay, were there any other reports? Okay, then, moving on to general business, you have the consent agenda, which has the minutes, the payment of the bills. Could I have a motion, please?
I make the motion that we accept the consent agenda as presented. Support.
Okay.
Joe?
Shaw and Melky, is it?
No, Adair.
Oh, Shaw and Joe.
I heard you, Ross.
Okay, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Motion's approved. Okay, there being no old business, new business, animal microchip, I think that's yours, Joe?
Actually, the chief has the information on that.
Yes.
Just updated.
You guys all have the
Chief.
information.
Okay, I got a call from Jeff Randazzo of Macomb County Animal Control. Macomb County got a grant to install microchip readers on animals. If someone finds a lost pet, they can bring their pet in, they got a little wand and check to see who owns it. So they would like to install 4 of them. They were gonna go to Roseville, Clinton Township, Shelby, and Armada would be handle the north end of Macomb County. There's no charge for it other than the DPW's gotta help them put it on the wall. There's some pictures enclosed. I was gonna put it, I think the best spot would be between the door here and the police door on the concrete. They would just need the help of the DPW. I already talked to Dave Wagner, he said he's happy to do it. Like I said, there's no charge to us. The only thing is battery operated, and we might have to charge the battery every couple of weeks, which is not a big deal. So there was a big thing in the Macomb Daily today. They had the first one rolled out in Clinton Township. Mark Hackle was there, big deal. And they were showing how it works. They actually said Armada was already getting it. I told him he has to go before the council. They jumped the gun and said Armada's gonna get one. So it's just they need your approval to have, and they called me today to put it on the wall.
Chief, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So, I couldn't quite make out so any resident it's like accessible, you don't have to have a key or a code.
No.
You just can access this,
Yeah.
take it out, and then scan the dog?
Right, or a cat.
Okay.
What about a raccoon?
No.
Come on, Rich.
No raccoons.
So bad.
So,
Maybe some
yes,
microchip.
as long as it's microchip, I'm not an expert on this, but apparently you can get your animal microchip, they put it in your neck or something, and then they scan it and tell you who owns it.
I'll bring my dog up, we can try it out.
Okay.
Okay, I think Joe's gonna make a motion here. There you go, Joe.
Okay, no question. I am resolved to allow Macomb County Animal Council to
Control.
to install an animal microchip reader on the village office building. Should I add that no expense to us?
There's no expense to us.
That should be in the book.
And no
Support.
charge to the village?
Support.
Okay, motion by Adair, supported by Shaw. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Motion's approved. Next, item 3B, promotion of Andrew Cubit. Mike, I think you had that put on the agenda?
Yes. It was to approve the promotion of Andy Cubitt to the rank of sergeant in the Armada Police Department. I'm going to defer to Joe. She's the head of the commission. She has a lot more information than I do, and I think it's irresponsible for me to. Joe?
Okay, Joe, you want to take it from there?
Okay. The gist of the whole motion is a little different than what the concept of it is. What I've talked with the attorney, with the president, with the police chief. We haven't really done that many promotions, so we're not good at it. And when you review the whole thing, we don't know how to do it, really. So, rather than put 2 wrongs in to try to make a right, that never works, we decided to get more informed. So Chief is working with myself and any other resources he can find, other communities, what have you, to put together a procedure and process manual. So once that's in place, I have no objections to reviewing this issue again. But that way, come next time, it's based on something, whereas now it's based on what?
Yeah.
So I would like to take this motion off the table again and give us time to complete that manual and the procedure so that we're consistent on how we handle things.
How does this affect the one you just did?
I just did I pulled it off in the meeting again. I just
No, I'm
put it back
talking
on.
about the motion that you just did.
Can't undo it.
Well, so the motion on the, I don't think
We've never made a motion, there is no motion.
No, not for this.
Right, so there's no motion on the floor. So you tell me if I'm misinterpreting your comments, you'd like to postpone this?
Yes.
Okay, so there's two ways to postpone it. You can postpone it to a date certain, and that would be, you could say the next meeting after 90 days. That's up to you to decide how long you postpone it.
I don't think that he can get a manual done in 2 weeks. I
No, I see. Yeah.
Oh, no, I thought Mike said next
Yeah,
meeting, I'm like,
okay.
it's a lot of pressure.
That, a motion to a date certain is not debatable, so it's
Right.
either yes, we agree, or no, we don't. A motion to postpone indefinitely, that is debatable because you don't know when it's gonna come back. So, whatever the time, Chief, I don't know if you have an idea how long it might take.
I gotta start calling around. That's how I usually get policies and stuff, calling people, calling different police departments that I know that.
What if you
come up with
just-
some information?
What if if nobody makes a motion, then you can just go on with what you're starting to do with the chief here.
That's fine, but then you don't have any idea when it's coming back, though.
Right.
That's up to the council to decide, do we want this to come back on a date certain?
How long do you think you need, chief? Is 2 months too long, or a month?
Month is not enough.
Okay, 2 months.
Yeah, at
I
least.
think
at
you
least-
misinterpreted my question though. My question was.
No, I didn't, I understand what you're asking.
So my question is, does that
It's not going to
make
affect
that
the previous.
null? Or?
No, because it was done before.
It was done and already approved through the council. So, this one hasn't hit that stage.
How about first of the year?
That would be good.
Is that too long? Is that? I mean,
That would work,
Huh?
for sure. yeah.
So by January 1st?
Well, why don't we try to do a meeting, that way we first
Well,
meeting.
because I don't know, and I don't have a calendar in front of me.
No, first meeting, just say first
Okay,
regular
first meeting in January.
Yeah.
That's a date. Michelle, I thought you had that whole calendar.
You can, I know, yeah, January 12th.
The 12th.
Oh, just quit showing off. No. January 12th. Thank you, appreciate that. First meeting.
Yeah, I kind of picked up on that.
So the motion on this item would be to postpone it to the first meeting in January, which would be January 12th.
I don't understand. Support the layers.
And, all right, so how about we just say move to postpone the first meeting, postpone this item. I gotta have something. This item until the January 12th. January 12th, 2026, regular council meeting.
Yep.
Okay. Is that okay with you, Joe?
Sounds good.
All right, and Ross? Okay.
So, motion by Adair. Do we have a second?
Support.
Support
Ross.
by Ross. Belkey?
Yep.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Motion's approved. Upcoming agenda items. Nothing at this time. We have a second citizen comment if you'd like to, so would any citizen like to make a comment?
Bite at the apple.
I knew we couldn't hold you down.
Hi, Marcia Hollins, 20120 Armada Ridge Road. My question is, if I want to volunteer my self-proclaimed expertise in artificial intelligence to help Ross with his search committee for a water commissioner and to help with the selection of what he's working on, the promotion of and recruitment using surrounding communities. I don't know if you all understand the power of AI. And I just like to offer my services to help you.
What I would suggest you do, contact the chief.
Or Ross.
Yeah.
And
well, Ross, Mike.
Not
Yeah,
this item.
but we're not going to go through a
No,
debate
I
on
just
it
wonder
here.
how do I do it? What
But
is the
you can
process?
contact them separately.
Okay. That's
And
thank you.
You know what, Marcia, why don't you contact them? Could you submit like just a letter outlining
Yes.
what your
Okay.
expertise
For
is?
both of them? Yes.
Sure, yeah, that would be great. That way we have it on file.
so, are there any other citizen comments? Can't keep a good man down, Bob.
Not gonna let you get
Come on.
an entire night. So, Bob Richter, 73959. So, for the roads, I just wanna say that the 7 roads that we did have never been better in 15 or 20 years than they are right now, and they're not even done. That's number one. The road that we did, the 1 2-block road, we paid $175,000 for. We paid $360 for 11 times more road for $100,000 more dollars, 50% more. So that's a hell of a good deal, right? So we got to be real careful about looking a gift horse in the mouth. The other thing is that the way this works, this is used all through the rural roads. They take the farm implements, the heavy tractors, the beet trucks, double 40, 60-ton trucks full of beets on those roads all the time. The more you drive on it, the better it gets. After a few years, you have to put a little bit of gravel and another seal on top. That packs it down. 4 or 5 years later, you got to do that again. 7 or 8 years later, you got to do that. The more you do it, the thicker the road gets, and the stronger it gets, and the more weight it can take. So this is an excellent process for what we have to do. It's way cheaper and way stronger. In addition to that, because it's not a solid piece of material, it doesn't expand or contract the way it doesn't expand or contract the way that concrete does. So it's not going to crack in the winter. It's not going to get water down in it that will make it heave. You're not going to get potholes or chips that come out. You're not going to get the little hair cracks that you get in asphalt that have to be ribbon sealed with the tar every year, right? That none of that stuff happens. So this is an infinitely better process. So you got to come to the meetings with facts and not conjecture.
Amen.
Very important, all right? I would apply the same wisdom to the condo section, right? There's a significant reduction in costs that come with added people. There's also a trade-off, right? We suffer a little bit because there's more cars. What you gotta find is a balance. This is about balance. This is about a golden mean. You're not gonna get to eliminate growth altogether, nor do you want to go and add 400 houses, though we certainly could. The water system could support that. But somewhere in between is a good way to do this. But you've got to come with facts. None of this is been.
Okay.
There's just a proposal at this time.
Bob?
Yep. So
This time it's for you to address the council,
right.
appreciate what you're doing here, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's enough.
So, is everybody covered out there?
I'd like to say one more thing.
Go right ahead.
Thank you. So, you want my name again?
Yes.
Okay,
I know your name.
all right, Lori Vanzik, 73561 Morrison. I heard you talking about F&V. Is that the company that drives the car down the street to the pump house and checks things? Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay. I'd like to address the fact that on occasion they tend to fly down our street, Morrison.
I will
And
make sure that's
that is
addressed.
not appreciated. Thank you.
I will.
Okay.
We are very protective of our dead-end street. We sit there and we watch. I'd also like to address as you were saying about the roads, so it's actually not to you, as you were saying about the roads, the information we received were from the people installing it. So when you say come with the facts, we're coming with facts from the people doing the installation.
We didn't say that.
Correct.
No, he's don't bother.
But he did. No one closer to the work than the installers. And the fact that our road in particular, Morrison, does not have catch basins. So as you did that, you should come down and see where the water pools right now, because I'm assuming it's going to pool there once the top layer goes on. Unless they're gonna come and put more gravel down. I'm hoping they do, because I would think that that'd be a part of
I
that.
did drive down Morrison.
Yeah.
And I only saw one spot that had big puddles.
So there's about 3. I can give you the addresses on where they pool, especially Doug. He's very familiar with the area.
Again, they are supposed to walk through this and hopefully take care of most of it. I don't know that it's gonna be perfect.
Right.
But hopefully it will be or close to it.
Right, absolutely. I don't think anyone's looking for perfection. I think we're looking for, you're gonna get your bang for your buck, you're gonna get some longevity out of it. And then just as it relates to the water report, I think one of the things that I find interesting is as you're talking about the addition of homes and you're talking about the water system supporting it, knowing that our current water that comes out of our tap has a very high volume of TDS, total dissolved solids. That's a fact. It's in the reports. What I would love to see, and I think many members of the community would love to see, is to even improve the water to an even higher standard than what we currently have. And you look at that report and you see that, is the arsenic high? Yeah. Is it within the allowed limits? Yes. But thinking of the fact that, water is life. And if we can improve that system with some of the funds to an even better level than what we have right now, how great would that be? So as saying that the water is good, is it great? I don't see you drinking it. I see bottled water coming from home. Right, so perfect. Then I will bring you the water that comes to my filter in my whole house filter that is a solid red color. I'll bring it.
But anyhow,
Yes,
you've got your 3 minutes.
Yes,
Ian.
and I just
So-
wanted to share that with you
Yeah.
because I think as a community, it's important that we think about those things. And I will bring the water to the next meeting.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Why don't you come and just talk to me, because that's what I
Or you
told
can
you
just come
guys
and
to
talk
do.
to
I'll just bring the water.
Bring her the
I'll just bring the
water.
water.
Yeah, bring her the water.
How do you expect me to have a rational conversation with you if you're just gonna come and showboat it? Bring it to me and let's talk about it. I'll get Catherine in, and we can look at the report.
It is
Hey,
about showboating.
that's enough now. Let's, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, moving on then. Do we have any council comments?
Alibi. So we talked at a meeting prior about the fact that there was illegal dumping at well site number 8. So we have put up a gate at the end of Morrison, along with some fencing there. It is not meant to keep anybody out from walking through. There's joggers and other stuff. We don't want people bringing in trash, concrete, grass clippings and stuff like that and dumping it back in that area. That's the water we drink, and we don't want it to be contaminated. So again, well protection area, that's why we fenced that off, no other reason.
And I will make this comment on behalf of Ross. He's done a tremendous job trying to educate people on our water system. And if any of you have a question, if you would call the office, leave your number, I know Ross will get with you. So anyhow, that's my comment. Any other council comments?
I'd just like to make the comment on the promotion of Andrew Cubitt, that I just hope that the chief uses a fair assessment when he decides to evaluate Andrew, that he has all the parameters and then he makes an intelligent decision based on that.
Feel free to discuss this with the chief.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to say that even though we're never here this late, it was really enlightening to hear the stuff coming from the people.
Yes.
You brought up some really great points.
Not only was it enlightening, but it was a little frightening.
No, they were good. No, I mean, you know, like
That's a
you
good
talked
thing.
about talking to the contractor and they gave you information. That's information that we were never given.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's nice to hear, you know, your concerns, and I think your concerns are pretty valid, so.
Any other council comments? Community events.
When's homecoming?
We got homecoming is the 19th, I believe.
It's my son's birthday, I think I would remember that.
Armada Area Historical Society's got a show us what you got presentation. Don't read into that. It's this weekend, 13th and 14th. We have an appraiser there on Saturday. If you can get it in the door, LeVere, who's our appraiser, 93, he's been in the business today, will appraise value of what your antique is. It's a free event, free parking, free entry, it's free. Come and see what your historical society is trying to do, and would welcome your attendance at it.
Okay. No we don't have any closed session tonight, so I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:36.
Motion by Starrett.
Support.
By Shaw.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Here, here.